We are here with Frost. We're talking about Wildstar. A couple of things that we are talking about at PAX is the dungeons and the raids. So tell us a little bit about dungeons and raiding in Wildstar.
So Dungeons and Wildstar are insane. In PvE we have these things called telegraphs on the ground, which are these big red circles that if you stand in them you get hurt. Well, in dungeons there's a lot of those. So they're everywhere. All the things have all the telegraphs. So we have these pretty insane telegraphs that also do stuff like that will follow you, and then after a certain while will stop, so you have to dash out of the way, or telegraph filling rooms with bosses that you need to group CC in order to break that telegraph from happening. It's just insane.
With the dungeons, there's telegraphs everywhere. There's going to be a lot of teamwork, right? Like, it's not just you can go in there, hack and slash. Like, you need to actually work together to get to the end, right?
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is we make you think and know how to play. Sorry, but a lot of what we do is basically teach you at a very early level, this is how these mechanics work, and then we just make them more difficult as you go on and on. And dungeons specifically, we want to make them for the hardcore demographic. So we're going to make these a little difficult, and you will have to communicate and say, like, that group CC thing, we have interrupt armor. So you'll see a little number on a nameplate of a boss. We'll say like 5 with like a little shield over it. That means that 5 people need to CC within a very short amount of time in order to interrupt this boss. Otherwise, he's just going to power through his attacks.
So some fine details in dungeons. How many players?
5-man in about 4 dungeons, and then we have a 20-man raid and a 40-man raid.
How long does a typical dungeon take, depending on how good the players are?
So anywhere from about 45 minutes to an hour and a half. It really just, again, ranges on your ability as a player.
Loot at the end, is it going to be just strictly items, or can you get housing stuff?
You can get armor, weapons, housing items, all sorts of drops at the end that are coming in that really we want to have all these systems that interlock, and so that's a great way to have it. If you have your house, you can get like a boss head that you can put on the wall, that sort of thing.
Very cool. So you kill a dragon, you get dragon head.
You get dragon head on the wall that you can be like showing your friends when they come in and be like, look at all my boss heads on the wall.
With like queuing up for dungeons, do you have to go to a specific area to get to the dungeon? How does that kind of work?
Well, you have to find the dungeon in the environment, but then we have a looking for group tool, and that's only for the 5-man dungeons. We will not have a looking for raid tool, though.
Okay. So to get into a dungeon, each person has to have found the dungeon out in the world before you can go in?
Yeah, that's correct. You have to find the dungeon out in the world, then you have access to it in your looking for group tool.
Okay. And then a little bit about raids. 40-man raids. Have you released a lot of info about them yet?
So we've released a little bit of information. Just tads. We are working on it right now. It's something that is very time intensive and tuning intensive. We've started pulling in guilds to start testing it. We've been doing it internally, of course. It's something that we're actively working on right now to make sure that it is awesome and difficult.
So high-end content is pretty important in Wildstar.
Super important. We don't call it end game, we call it elder game. We want to have something that your game does not end when you get to level 50. Dungeons are specifically like that, so you'll have to do veteran versions of dungeons to get the gear necessary to go to the 20-man, and then you'll need to get the 20-man gear in order to get the 40-man gear, etc.
Very nice. And is there anything else that you're kind of announcing here at PAX, or there's a lot of stuff? I mean, you guys announce everything. It's awesome. Every couple weeks, every week, there's a new video, so people can easily go to your website like, oh, I want to learn about the new classes, the new features. You guys got a video for it, which is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to be more aggressive in our video release in the coming weeks. We're going to have dev speaks on stuff, a lot more frequently. It'll be good times, and we'll go further into detail on a lot of these things. When we start out these things, it's a lot more like, here's this general system, but as we progress, we're going to get into a lot more detail with, classes and other things like that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Frost.
Dude, thank you.
Thanks.